This is my audience. Most people have graduated via public education, but has it really been successful in shaping their futures? Today I would like to tell you about when and where public education came from, how it evolved, and if anything has gone wrong, and where it stands today and for the future. When and where did public education come from? The original idea of education was established with Congregationalist and Puritan religious schools in the 1600s. These schools were tuition-based. One of these schools is the Boston Latin School, established in 1635 and is still functioning today as a public school. Horace Mann, Secretary of Massachusetts Board of Education, proposed the idea of free public education funded by the state for all children in the early 1830s. He emphasized that public investment in education would transform children into literate, moral, and productive citizens. Schooling the young would also provide economic benefits. He stated the schools would teach the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. These are still taught in schools today. The first public school in the United States was founded in 1839. This school was free to the public. It taught family, religion, community, as well as the 3 R's. Girls were taught how to read, but not how to write. The North had an abundance of public education centers compared to the sparse amounts in the South. In the South, affluent families paid private tutors to educate their children, and public education wasn't common in the South until after the Reconstruction era. By the turn of the century, public education was more common. By 1900, 31 states had public education for children ages 8 to 14. By 1918, every state was required to have students complete elementary school. And by 1925, high schools were required to teach 14 to 18-year-olds, and attendance was mandatory. How has it evolved, and has anything gone wrong? Public education was originally created to teach younger elementary age children basic reading, writing, and arithmetic skills. Schools today still do this, as well as teaching sciences and social studies. Schooling has advanced to secondary education, educating children all the way to adulthood. Extracurriculars became available at the turn of the century, helping students' engagement in school. Public education did not become the way it is until the 1930s. Before this, schools taught reading, writing, arithmetic, and religion. Some extracurriculars were available, mainly concerning religion and study and practice. Classes were held in one room houses. They taught multiple grade levels in one room. Elective classes became a thing in the 1950s. Previously, schools just taught core classes. Electives help with mental stimulation and career readiness. Many CTE programs started to become available in schools. Electives help a student find their talents, interests, and prepare them for the real world. Has anything gone wrong? Electives have been a huge factor in public education, making a forward movement. Budget cuts and lack of funding for schools is a major issue today. Learning environments are becoming outdated, unsafe, and in disrepair. Threats of school shootings make parents uneasy to send their children to school each day. Underfunding from the government has made schools have to choose which things are worth preparing when they break. Low teacher pay has made the job not desirable, causing short staffing. Teachers are required to have 4 years of college education, and college is expensive. There are other career options that pay the same or more without college education. And as the times are changing, students are becoming more disrespectful and harder to deal with, causing many to shy away. Where does it stand today and for the future? Although public education has advanced tremendously over the last century, lack of funding has become a serious issue. Education for the public is one of the most important things, but the current system is outdated and concerningly unsafe. Reevaluation of the current education system, making it so students have more choices on what classes they take, specifically core classes. Creating different learning environments that are research-based to provide optimum performance. And having more choices in which schools to attend, as well as having more career focus focused schools. In the future, there will be more CTE programs available as well as higher tech learning opportunities. Smart boards are currently making their way into classrooms. Student-issued devices provide easier access to assignments and resources. iPads and MacBooks and Chromebooks are among the most popular. In conclusion, I spoke about public education. I spoke about where public education came from, how it has evolved, and if anything has gone wrong, and where it stands today and for the future. Since so many people graduate via the public education system, it is important to see the roots from which education stemmed from and where education for the public is headed for the future, as well as diagnosing things that need to change. That's it.